Bernie Sanders went on and introduced this thing called a bill. And he wanted to negotiate publicly for a $6 trillion infrastructure reconciliation package. And he kept saying $6 trillion, $6 trillion publicly. Privately, he went behind closed doors and he said, look, I'll go for $4 or $5 trillion. They came out of committee with $3.5 trillion. So right there, you could say, Jason, that's great. And it could be great, except for one thing. If you know the Democratic Party, you know they're the party of stupidity, of stupids. They're the party of stupidity. Because essentially now what's going to happen is they're going to water it down and water it down and water it down and water it down, and all of a sudden it's going to be like $1 trillion, maybe even $600 billion, $500 billion, maybe just nothing at all. So my first thought here is what they should have done is, so it came out from Democratic committee. I should be more clear with you. It came out of Democratic committee, and you know that's how it works. It goes to committee, then you vote on it, and then it comes out. What they should have done is, instead of it coming out of committee at $3.5 trillion, it should have come out at $6 trillion. So then when, you know, Manchin and all these other dummies water it down, well, then it could go down to 3.5 trillion. Right? But now they've put it in a position where it's not. So anyway, it sounds great, and they added this Medicare expansion to include dental, vision, hearing. And I guarantee you that was a ploy to get Bernie on board, or Bernie said, we're doing this, right? I don't think Bernie's that strong anymore, so it was probably a ploy by all the other Democrats, like, yo, let's do this and get Bernie on it. Now, to get it out of committee, because that's how it works, in order to get to the floor. So, of the Senate. So, it includes that, but it doesn't include expansion of Medicare to people 55 or 60. So, okay, stupid. 65 or 50, however you want, 60 or 55, however you want to put it. But now, so that way, right, it could be a good bill. Now, the problem here is Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin comes out to reporters, and he draws a red line. He draws a red line, and he says, you know, I'm all for this, and this is all great, but I don't want to, well, first off, I want a bipartisan bill that, you know, both the GOP and the Democrats can participate in, and then I want a Democratic bill that's just for Democrats, you know, filled with spending priorities that GOP won't vote for, but they both have to be paid for. Now, I'm going to get to why that's stupid in the first place, just in general, but he also said, well, you know, we've given away too much free money. We have to basically find a way to pay for this. Oh my God. First off, you know, all these people pretend to be deficit hawks. Oh my God, the debt, you know, the debt, deficit. Wow. Terrible. But then they pass a tax cut in 2017, right? And it actively adds $2 trillion to the deficit. And not only that, it gives 83% of the wealth to the top 1%. Okay, so right there, they never blinked an eye. They just added to the damn deficit. And what deficit? I don't know what you're talking about. I know mainly it was the Republicans. But again, and when it comes to war and giving Jeff Bezos a space contract, Joe Manchin didn't blink an eye. He just thought, oh, $10 billion? Let's go. Oh, he needs it. What are we going to do? Not pay for it? And the second thing is, Joe Manchin is saying this while he doesn't want to raise taxes on the corporations, even an inch. The way you pay for this is have the rich fund it. That's how you pay for it. That is exactly how you pay for it. But Joe Manchin doesn't want to even do it. He only wants to raise taxes on the corporations just a teeny weensy bit. A teeny little bit. That's it. So right away, you can tell, holy shit, this is stupid, right? So that's all he wants to do, is he only wants to raise it a little bit and then that's it. That's it. That's all he wants to do. So we already know that the way you pay for things is you tax the rich. You know, right? So you tax the rich, and you raise taxes on the corporations. You raise the tax rate. You can't raise taxes on the middle class. So if you're not gonna pay for it, you know, with obvious taxes on the rich, then how the F are you going to pay for it? Right? So you see where I'm going with this, right? You can't tax the middle class. Obviously, the rich have more money, but he's funded by the rich. So what, you think he's going to do that? Come on! So now, if this was Joe Biden, if Joe Biden really wanted this, he should be behind the scenes getting Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, Joe Biden. He probably should get himself in their punk asses into his office and doing the carrot and stick approach. I could be your best friend. I could be your enemy. Which one do you want? Do you want a military base in a new military base in West Virginia? Do you want new military funding to the defense contractors? Do you want a spot in my administration? Do you want more money for infrastructure? What do you want? He's not doing any of that. And if Joe Biden doesn't do any of that and doesn't get them on his side, oh my God, his time in office is over. It's over because he can't get anything else done. Because they have this goal of getting a bipartisan bill and a solo bill through. Because they're Democrats. They're so effing weak that, you know, they're so freaking weak that you have to please the Republicans, even though they wouldn't do that for you and your asses. So this is stupid. Of course, it's the Democratic Party. What else can you expect? And I see this blowing up in Joe Biden's face.